I'm tired of being the invisible man. The invisible man. Oh, the invisible man. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Invisible Man. You've got a sneak peek there. Carla Barnell has joined us today, so we'll get to the introductions and bring her back on the screen shortly. But first, Ryan, introductions.
All right, everybody. Well, this handsome man next to me who opened this show up and has been my good friend and musical partner for the last,
long time.
7-ish years? Anyways, is Mark David Stollard. He uses his middle name, even though he doesn't have to.
And this is Ryan Jans. His middle name is also David, but he doesn't use it, even though he should. And we are It's All in the Mind. That was the worst lag ever. Wasn't even close. Anyhow. Right, so our special guest today is Carla Barnell. She recorded her first record in 2013 in Nashville. Her album, The Liberator, hits the #1 spot on CBL Radio, Montreal. She's a Minto Country Music Wall of Fame inductee. She received the Best Folk Song and Best Folk Video Award at Academia Awards California, and has also received the Indie Radio Folk Song of the Year. So, without further ado, Carla Barnell, how are you doing?
Hey guys. Wow, I forgot I did that stuff.
Oh, I deliberately left the years off, so...
Thank you. I don't know even what year this is right now.
Here we go. Let's get you on the screen. There we are. Okay, I'm just going to... There we are. This is like I planned that.
I don't know how my camera is going there.
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, I don't think it's an issue on your side of the camera. I think it's well, and we have a thing saying it's not a show unless something goes wrong. So I think, yeah, there we go. That looks a little more normal. So we will say hello to a couple of longtime fans that we've had here, Pauline Santoro and Shalim. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And also a friend of mine from work, Alyssa Strachan, has joined us today. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves and staying safe out there in this very strange new world that we have.
And Jeff Patch, our special guest from last week, has joined us. So, hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
And our new good friend, Jeff. So, I was all ready to go and I've dropped my notes. Here we are. So, Carla, you were back. I'm sure Shalim will remember, as he's been with us for a while. But you were with us about a year ago. And but we did talk about some of your early stuff. I'd love if we can maybe go back over some of the stuff for our new audience members. And I can't believe it's been a year. It seems like
I know.
When we met up before the show there online, it was like we do this all the time. It felt like that anyway. When you get on with someone, you just get on, I guess. Maybe if you can, maybe just give us a little bit of about outline on your background, how you got into music, that kind of thing.
Okay, well, I have my criminal record check's good. I'm good to go there. So background.
I thought it was going to get juicy there.
So basically, I'm a New Brunswicker, born and raised here. I've lived all over the place, of course, and I came back and settled down here probably last summer around the first week of June. I left Brampton, Ontario in a big hurry and came back to Fredericton, New Brunswick, where I believe the seed is watered well and grows better right here. So I've been in music off and on for years. And this past year, I've been doing a lot more writing than I have been performing. I have been working more on songwriting skills. I've learned something in the last year that I was struggling with, and I was talking to other artists about it, about my songwriting struggle. And it was a songwriting struggle because I had this tendency to I could write third person, and I could write about events, and I could write about scenarios and all of this. And then I had some other musician friends that kept saying to me, Carla, why don't you write a love song? I'm like, for frig's sake, I can't write a love song. I said, for one, I can't get that. If you love somebody, basically it's, I love you. That's it. You know, it's, I can't do all the stuff that goes with it. So the challenge was on. So that's been my big project this year, is like trying to emotionally connect again, to be able to sing from the I am place and hit my audience that way directly. And it's not easy. I'm internally fighting my headspace of being like so rational and logical and a nerd and a techno person, and then having to go into emotions, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with that half the time. So that's what I've been doing this year.
So I'm the opposite. I can do all the love song stuff. I can write the poetry and all that. It's when I try and write the narrative stuff that's external. That's really hard. That's hard for me.
Really?
So it's kind of funny.
I guess we all have our little spots, don't we, that we just kind of flow into.
Yeah, I think so. That's which is it's quite kind of amusing. Everybody's different.
And I don't write lyrics at all. We tried that.
Lyrics.
No. We tried that once, and Mark was like, "No, just no, never again." I was like, "You know what? I'm okay with this."
I'm sure if you practiced, you'd be fine, Ryan.
Oh yeah, no. I just think that, and it was. I think you had just said, "Hey, you want to go give this a shot? Write a verse," and I wrote a verse, and
I do remember.
It was not good.
Yeah.
It was bad.
And I think that was all I did say. I think it was just like, no.
Yeah.
Now we want to hear that, right?
No, we don't. We absolutely do not. There's no way.
Go away, try again.
Mark, I will brave COVID-19 to come to your place and give you a savage beating if you repeat that.
And I will sneeze on you.
There we go.
The boring words.
Indeed, yes.
That cold Atlantic wind is blowing.
Who's got the dang? Are you got a beer?
No, it's a Diet Coke.
Darn.
It's a Diet Coke.
I was going to say, because it's Saturday and everybody should have a beer right now.
Yeah, I usually have a beer after I've. Yeah, I'd
like to have a beer, but I can't.
You can't?
You can't?
No, I cannot.
Is that physical or?
Well, if I have the beer, I'll want another one. So I'm not going.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. I got you. Yes. I know exactly what you mean.
It's a thing up here. It's not I can't have a beer because of a problem. It's
easy to not start, but really difficult or near impossible to stop, right?
Yep.
So back on topic. You don't write love songs, and I do. But what kind of topics do you usually like to write about?
Typically, you got me on a bad day, guys, because I'm going to the sarcasm's just oozing today.
Oh, do the sarcasm.
Typically, I like to write about events. Like I like to look at people's lives, find their story, write about the story of their lives, with a little bit of emotion, but not emotion really from me. So typically that's what I like to do. And you'll hear that element, I guess, throughout The Liberator. You'll hear that. You'll hear the I in there, but you'll hear the story of the other more so than the story of me. I do use elements of me in it because I had to personalize it to a certain degree so that I could connect a little bit with the story. Some of it's got, elements of truth in it. Some are stretched in order so that you can take in the larger population or the more general population of your listenership that probably has experienced a similar lifestyle, has experienced similar culture and events that have gone on, like, in your similar age group or whatnot. So that's typically where I usually put my focus. But like I said, I'm starting to enjoy branching out and daring myself to do something different. And I think Raven's song kind of did that for me. And I actually have a super great story to tell you guys about Raven's song. It's just blows my mind.
Okay.
And as you guys knew, I wrote that song for my grandmother, who was at the time just starting the onset of dementia. and I wrote it. It wasn't a planned mental writing of that song. It was imagery, because I had to deal with anybody that's that has family member that has Alzheimer's, dementia, those types of things, will soon realize that you can't talk to somebody from here to here anymore because that part's not working. However, you can talk to them here from here, which requires imagery. It requires emotional connect. A different type of listening, a different type of communication goes on from here. So that process began with Raven Song. And my grandmother was, just before COVID came, it was just right after Christmas in January. And that's the other thing that's been taking up a lot of my time, has been my family. She was hospitalized because she had some other health problems, and they just knew that she could never come back out of the hospital again. And the last day that I seen her before they stopped allowing us to go into the hospital anymore, it was just me there. I had shown up right after work, and I started talking to her a little bit, and I got this gut feeling, because I never really told her about the song. And I just said, Graham, I said, I wrote a song about you. And suddenly she kind of started paying attention to me, and she said, you did? And I said, I did. And I couldn't find my recorded version that I had, but I did find a live I did on my Facebook page, Carla Bonnell, and I pulled it up and I found it and I played it for her. Graham, typically, she would always just kind of sing along when she heard songs played, or she'd, get distracted. She grabbed my phone, pulled it towards her, and listened while holding her breath the entire time. And when it was done, she looked at me and she said, you wrote that for me? And I said, yes, I did, Graham. I said, and the whole world knows about how wonderful you are. And that was the last day I got to see my grandmother. Oh. And that's Raven's song.
Oh, beautiful. And I did actually post while promoting the show that that was one of my definitely one of my favorite songs of 2019. And I was listening to it actually last week, which was a week before, whatever it was, right before I reached out to you to come back on the show. I'm listening to it because I love it. It was actually a beautiful song.
Oh, thank you so much.
Go check it out, everybody. It makes my makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck every time. That's wonderful. Okay, just want to call shout out. Catherine McGoy has joined us from UK. Hi, Catherine.
Hi.
Jeff Patch has a question, but I'll leave that for a second. My good
friend.
What
is it, Jeff?
I will read it out to you in just a second. But first, it's on Gavin George, who was my songwriting partner in the UK for many years, talking about being inspired to write. He says that they have better inspiration than just being dumped then. So that was a lot of his songs were all about being dumped. So that's Gavin George. He actually wrote some beautiful songs. I think Lead Your Love Away, Ryan, is one of Gavin's songs. Moonlight Mists, we co-write that. So Gavin's written some great uplifting stuff. But anyhow.
Yeah, actually, I've heard so much about Gavin over the years because obviously I've played some of the music that he's written, and Mark has always talked very fondly about him. So, Gavin, I know you're watching. You're coming on the show at some point.
Yeah, he said he will. So he's just got some business stuff to set up.
Awesome.
Because of the season and all the wonderful things. He's got to sort some few things out, and then he's going to come on, and we'll talk about music and all that other stuff. And where he's at. So, Carla, is there anyone you want to shout out, Ryan?
I haven't got anyone here, but I will just sort of do a little tagger for anybody who is joining late, who's not on either our party or any of the other parties. This lovely lady next to us here is Carla Bonnell, a New Brunswick songwriting native who has traveled across Canada and throughout promoting her music. Has been on the show once. We were just recently praising her for the song Raven's Song, which she wrote for her grandmother and has an amazingly touching story a few minutes back. So if you're catching this late, when we repost that, it's worth listening to. It's an absolutely wonderful, heartwarming story that we need to hear in times of difficult times like now. So we'll continue on.
Nice. So Jeff Patch's question. So he asks, Where do you buy the mix? And we need to know the whole story.
Yeah, please do.
Go to Mano for the booze and Tiffin for the mix. I always have to sing it now because I can't remember myself.
Okay. Oh, okay. There you go. So Ryan's actually. So Ryan, you're drinking the mix now.
Shall I go get the booze then?
No, I'm in the same boat you are, Carla. It's all up here for me. I'm gonna stay away from the booze for now.
Yeah.
So,
And I don't drink when I'm working because I did years ago, long before I met Ryan. Well, about a year or so before I met Ryan, I did an open mic, and I was had a beer just to settle my nerves, and I had a couple of new songs I wanted to do, and as I'm about to go up on stage, I can't remember the lyrics of these new songs, so I ended up doing some old ones. And then from then I was decided whenever I'm working, I'm never going to have a drink, even one. So
Exactly.
it was probably nerves and not the booze, but it was enough to put me off.
It probably was your nerves.
I might have one a little later tonight. Anyway.
I'm probably going to still say no. I've been on the drier side of sober for a long time.
the drier side of sober.
Yeah, the drier side. At one point, it was completely dry for a while. Just had to say no, can't continue on doing this. And it's only recently, in the last probably 3 or 4 years, that I felt comfortable enough that yeah, I can sit down and actually have a beer with the right people. So that's my inspirational story for today.
Well, good for you.
So
that's the way with me too.
Good for you both. I'll think about you.
When you're having your
when you crack your beer. Yeah,
indeed. So Carla, would you be ready to perform a song for us, or do you want to wait a little bit there?
Oh, sure, I can do that.
Excellent. Going for a treat, ladies and gentlemen.
I guess I should probably do Raven's song, right?
Oh, that would be great.
Sure.
Oh,
excellent.
Actually, I will.
The acoustic version.
Okay, I'm going to change the screens here. I'm locked with all the windows.
Oh, I'm not used to this chair. This is my office chair.
There we go.
That's not too bad for tuning. It's been sitting in front of the window and I've had that open off and on. Haven't picked up the guitar in a week, guys. All right, so here's Raven's song. Hope you guys enjoy it. Weeping willow house down by the river. Safe to say she can't love anymore. Along this shore, as she weeps, I can hear the raven in its haven singing an old familiar traditional song. Long stem rose, legends forgotten. Safe to say, love is coming your way any day, yeah. And as it lays there, I can hear the raven in its haven singing an old familiar traditional song. You are my sunshine. Whoa, whoa. You are my sunshine. You are my sunshine. Whoa, whoa. You are my sunshine. Winter's long when the cold wind blows, as if to say I'll never find escape. But as it blows, I can hear the raven in its haven singing an old familiar traditional song. You are my sunshine. Whoa. You are my sunshine. You are my sunshine. Whoa. You are my sunshine. Raven song for you guys.
Fantastic. Thank you, Carla. I can come back. Here we go. Come back in. I love that song.
Well, thank you so much. Much. Where did that come from? Much.
That came from you.
Yes, it did.
It wasn't me.
Sadly saying yes.
There we go.
Okay, so it's been about 10, 11 months since you were last on.
Yeah.
What have you actually been up to in that long, long time?
Moving all the time. 11 months. So that was last winter. Was I still in Brampton, Ontario?
Let me check my notes. I can't remember.
I don't recall.
I don't know. I was either in Brampton or I just came back down here. I can't remember either. But since that time, mostly I've been just like I said, like a lot of what I've been doing songwriting, working on it. I've got I don't know how many somewhat written songs. Sometimes it's music, sometimes it's lyrics. Some of them I'm actually putting together. I started doing some playing again. I started with Debbie Roy, buddy of mine, and we started getting together and doing music together here locally. And I was starting to really branch out internationally again. And there was just, at this point in my life, with what was going on with my family and coming back home to my roots here in New Brunswick, I kind of lost the fire for the international scene. I mean, I still do it. I still have a lot of wonderful people that show up on my Facebook Live when I get a chance to go in there and do it. But I kind of lost the fire for it. And I felt the call with music to be more geared locally, to take it to a different level. And I think that's because there's some things changing inside of me, too, like now, probably. Yeah, we'll say so. I don't want to psychoanalyze myself right on the Invisible Man show. I might disappear. But
hey,
so that's
it's
what
okay.
I've
It's
been
all in the
doing.
mind, Carla. It's all in the mind. Don't worry.
Nice segue there.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and playing with a great band 30 years after. Every well, not now, but every Saturday they were playing an open jam at Speed Bumps here in Fredericton. So I was just enjoying being amongst my musical folks again, because I've missed them something terrible. Connecting with everybody, started to play shows, it started to pick up, and boom, COVID happened. So it just put me back in the house and told me just work more and write more songs. So that's what ended up happening. So I haven't done any recording. The radio station, HDB Canada, it's kind of asleep right now as far as the radio part goes. I do have a partner. Can't announce anything yet. We will be at some point doing that when the time is right. But we had to put that on hold for a little while. He had some issues happen just with flooding and stuff before COVID had happened. He just got out of the mess. I just got out of my mess. We were ready to roll. We were starting to text. Bam, COVID came. So honestly, we've just put it on hold for now. However, I am going to start Carla's Coffee House again, because I'm going to do that through live video, kind of like what you guys are doing. And I'm going to start showcasing the bands remotely. And now that my schedule at work is working so that I've got my evenings off, I can do that. Before I just couldn't. My schedule was crazy. So it's settling down now. So I'm going to open up the coffee house again and start it rolling. I'm not in a big hurry. I'm kind of waiting for things to settle down a lot right now, just because there's a lot of house parties online right now.
Yep.
And just letting people have fun and doing their thing. And then we'll get into the promoting a little bit more down the road again.
Yeah, sounds fair. I was before you joined us there, before the show, Carla, Ryan, and I was saying that I was getting 5 or 6 pings on my phone a day saying someone else is doing another live, going live already. So,
yeah,
so it's kind of for fun. It's a nice place to. You got all this free entertainment at your fingertips, but yeah, it means you as an artist get kind of pushed aside, one of many now, rather than just the one of the few as we were just a few months back.
True enough. Now, like Willie Nelson and Dolly Parton and the rest of them are pushing us guys aside again now on this platform. Yeah. So I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, and I think it's just it's become such a bigger market, and it becomes something that everybody's doing, and it's going to take really creative people to sort of break through that. Otherwise, you're just going to have a bunch more people online performing, and that's not a bad thing.
No,
it's good to have the variety, but it just makes it a little bit. We just have to try a little harder to get noticed. That's all. And well, we should all be used to that, anyways. As musicians and artists, we're all just trying to get noticed and say, "Hey, look at what I did. Here's my thing." Right. So
exactly.
So that's nothing new to us. But yep, we're definitely happy to have with us today on the Invisible Man Show, Carla Bunnell from it was Fredericton. You said you're in.
Yep.
Right? Fredericton, New Brunswick. I have not been to Fredericton yet. Yeah, there's all the
invitations open.
Well, when the plague is receded, we'll definitely give some consideration. You can check out www.carlabunnell.com, Twitter @CarlaBunnell, Facebook.com/Carla Bunnell, capital C, capital B, and YouTube.com, user Celtic Blues. Blues spelt the cool way with EZ.
And actually, I think I found out if you search YouTube for Carla Bunnell, she comes up as well. So that's kind of unlike the Invisible Man, which you get thousands of other people who've used it before us. I didn't think very long about that title, did I? Never mind. There we go.
Yeah.
And of course, and if you're interested, and if anybody's interested, you can check out Carla's last appearance with us on The Invisible Man. If you go to theinvisibleman.ca, and all the old or the previous episodes are listed on the page there. Just go poke around, you'll find it quick enough. And it was fun. Oh, actually, and what you have to look forward to, as you recall, we released the world premiere of Raven's Song, the video. We got through the whole thing, and then we got a message from Sony saying, "We don't want you to play this," and then we got shut down on Facebook. We went down hard because we were just on Facebook at the time. That was kind of fun. And then it was like, what the? And then I uploaded the show to YouTube because we weren't doing it live to YouTube at the time. We are today, but I got flagged saying copyright material, and I challenged it. And of course, they said no, even though I said, "But Carla was on the show, we're promoting it," and nope. So it's kind of stupid. And then you had told me, Carla, I recall, that you tried uploading it because we did it first, right? And you got the copyright thing as well. Oh, what a joke this is.
What a strange world that we live in, that you can produce content and get slapped on the wrist for promoting your content on a medium that's supposed to be open to everybody.
Yeah.
That everybody should have access to. And then someone's coming down and says, "How dare you do that?" And that's very strange. It's I think there's some refinement to copyright law in regards to the international community that has to happen again.
Yeah.
And, we got to move away from bigger corporations owning things like CD Baby, which I think, and if we've done our research right, I think it's Sony that ultimately owns CD Baby, which
believe
is
so,
probably
yeah.
why.
Really?
I
Yeah,
believe so. Yeah, because that was the first alert on Facebook came from Sony, and the
that's right.
and the YouTube alerts came from CD Baby. So I think there's a link there. I didn't actually go back and find it, but yeah, and that wasn't the first we've had.
He makes me think I might have been important there for
Yeah.
5 minutes.
You're important to us. You're important to us, and we and actually since then I've been very, very nervous about playing any music on the show other than live.
Yeah.
So with Jeff
I
Patch,
ruined you boys. I'm so sorry.
yeah. You
What?
broke
know what?
us. Yeah, with Jeff
I
Patch
wouldn't
last week,
say you're ruined
we
us.
did have
yeah.
we did have a CD quality song from Jeff Patch last week, but that had not yet been sent to CD Baby to be released yet. So we'll probably get flagged let down the road for that. I suspect,
That's the thing. Once it goes into distribution, that's when they get you.
Yep.
So we might
That's
get
for
dinged for that one after the events, I guess. I just want to shout out to Eddie Mole, has joined us from Bristol in the UK. He's also saying that they can't play live there either. And so you keep safe as well, Eddie. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you,
It's a
Eddie.
problem. We had we don't perform a lot, Ryan and I, 2 or 3 times a year, I think, is what we've been doing. And we have one show booked for May 1st, cancelled. Yeah, so
That's
so
surprising nobody.
great. So it's been rescheduled for October. It's part of the Envision Festival of the Arts in Wolseley here in Winnipeg. We play there pretty much every year, so we will be there. But it'll be a few months down the road.
Our guaranteed 3 performances, and they've always been great fun to play. I'll give them a little bit of a shout out. So if you're into artistic festivals, artisans, and good food, good music, good creative people to be around, that's definitely it. Check it out, Evanston Festival, for sure.
Yeah, so Carla, I've actually over the years I think we played everywhere from busy nightclubs, screaming pubs with almost with bottles flying around and thinking, right down to pretty much playing to an empty rooms in coffee shops, and I always find that the playing those little intimate places far more enjoyable, like Joe Black Coffee Bar. I keep going back to. Just love it there because you're playing to maybe 12 people, 12 people, and it's just such a nice environment there. Certainly suits our music. What kind of places do you like to play in? What's your favorite kind of venue?
I gotta tell you, it's the small ones, because those are where you'll either make it or break it in the small ones. Like if you got a big crowd, that's great too, and I'm not against that. But it's hard to play just with a few faces and you can see them all. And you know what you're thinking when you play that song, right? It's a lot harder on you to do that, I find, because in the big crowd, you just hear them either clapping, but you can't really see everybody's face. But that small venue where you can see that person having their beer, drinking their coffee, and they're listening to what you're singing, and you're going to get an honest answer from them when you're done the song. Those are my favorite times, because I find that even though they're nerve-wracking, they improve you. You'll know what you're doing well and know what didn't quite work.
Yep.
And it's I find the most rewarding. Plus then too, you just get to chat with people. You get to sometimes break through and tell a little story that they might care about regarding the song. I find the bigger venues, they just basically want the entertainment part of it and not so much the songwriter, singer-songwriter part of it.
I think we got sidetracked for right before Ryan got married. We were playing in pubs and clubs, and we had a regular drummer, a couple of regular drummers actually, and we ended up just getting sucked into playing too many covers, I think. Definitely.
And you get sucked into that easily too.
Yeah, which is fine.
That could be sometimes it can be a requirement of the club owner. You have to play 50% of, or 2/3 of your set have to be recognizable songs, which is really tough when you're you're written like 20 songs and you want to play them, right?
Yeah.
And
well, we've got about 60. We've got about 60 plus songs that we could probably play at a moment's notice that are original. So it's kind of pretty tough too. Like I often get requests of, can you play this song? And it's like, well, I've never heard the song before, but it's a great song. So I always say that if it's an obscure song, and no one's going to recognize it. There's no point. I've got enough obscure songs that are just as good. We'll play mine.
Yeah, exactly. You want to hear something else is really listening to? Here, let me tell you.
So, do you play any covers as a rule?
I do. Yeah, pretty much like you said, you pretty much have to do it. So even on my lives that I do on Facebook, like I'll do a bunch of covers and I'll do mine because I don't have that huge of a catalog to, change it up like every week for people like when I was doing it weekly. So like, I'll put in, and I like to, for my covers, I like to do stuff that's true to me. I still get in trouble with bands and stuff because I say, "Oh, play that one. It's more popular." I said, "I'm not into the popular. I'm going to play what I want to play."
That's right. Yeah.
If I got to play a cover, it's going to be one I like, and then I can get into it and I enjoy it. And usually the crowd does. But
there are a couple of songs.
We do it.
Yeah, a couple of covers that I love playing was "End of the World." I played in the UK last summer when I was there, and that which was forget who it was, but it was a 60s theme. That's the 60s song. I just singing the key of E, I can belt that one out. It's fun. And it's just like, it's one I'll do on my own as well, right? So there are some of those ones you just can't get away from, or you don't want to get away from. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds and Strawberry Fields, we have to do one of those a show because I just love those. And they get a great great reaction as well, particularly when you got Dupuis doing those songs. Right? You got a Dupuis doing them. I mean.
Yeah.
And you usually get someone say, "Wow, I've never heard anyone do that one before." Just because it's a big band song, right? Anyhow.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
So, do you have any horror stories about places where you've played, Carla, or somewhere where you've been on stage and wish you weren't there anymore?
You know what? If there was a horror story, I probably blanked it out because that's just my personality. Like, if it's that horrible that I just won't remember it. I'll just like vanquish it into the darkness. You know what I mean? So I try to forget those, but usually I kind of also forget the venue I played it at and the people that I was there with. So like, I won't even remember to look for that place the next time.
Right. Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, we have a...
Oh, my battery's getting low.
Yeah, you kind of faded out there for a sec.
I did.
You almost went invisible.
Battery just dropped to 10%, so...
Okay, well, if you drop suddenly, we'll say goodbye now. Thanks so much for joining us.
Exactly.
And then we'll be in touch. But until the battery dies, though, please stay on with us.
Okay. I'll try to.
Yeah, we have a few places that we've played that were less than desirable. Yeah.
And we do actually have a show already. We have I think it was the second or third episode of The Invisible Man about 2 years ago. Go check it out, people. theinvisibleman.ca. I'm pretty sure there's links to everything there. Rather than recount them all, we will. I think we will redo those shows. We'll redo those stories another time. But this show's for Carla. So, do you think you have enough battery, Carla, for another song?
Yes, I'll do you one more.
That would be
great.
I
got enough.
Okay. Okay. I'm just going to switch the screens over. It's because I don't have a technician.
Look at him go. He's so cool at this stuff. I'm gonna have to hire you.
Yes,
for just accolades. Accolades is what I hire.
Damn it! For exposure, people die of exposure. Hey.
That's right. Especially to COVID. Hey, bum. There we go too, right there.
Okay, so Carla, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so I'm gonna I have to do this quick because like my battery is gonna drop on me. It's only 10%. I wrote this one last fall. I took the challenge trying to write a love song. I got a couple more I would have loved to done for you guys, but we'll just keep it at this one. It's more a reason I chose it. It's a little bit different from typically what I've been writing. It's called Heart in Drive. See if I get it right here. Yeah. I got memories in my pocket and some time to burn. I see your face before me as the wheel I turn. Take me back to heaven on the 401. Meet me on the bypass in the evening sun. I say, hey, my heart is in drive. Heading back to you under Ontario skies. Say that that your heart could be mine, 'cause mine will be yours until the end of time. I can't forget the day I left and what took place. I feel your arms around me and I see your face. You wake me up in dreams at night searching for you. The countdown is on, I'm coming back for you. I sing, hey, hey, my heart is in drive, heading back to you under Ontario skies. Say that your heart could be mine, 'cause mine will be yours until the end of time. Truck stop, gypsy, gonna fill up the tank. One more stop at the TD Bank. Grab the Tim, sink a hymn, turn up the tunes. I'll get to Montreal about noon. I said, hey, hey, my heart is in drive, heading back to you under Ontario skies. Say that your heart could be mine, 'cause mine will be yours until the end of time. I said, hey. So that is Hard and Drive. It's not yet been recorded. I hope you guys like it.
Nice, thanks so much.
That was
Excellent.
great.
Nice little bit of rhythm and blues there as well. That's always good.
Try.
There we go. Let's switch this back. Well, I'm thinking it would probably be prudent if we maybe just close the show there as your battery's going, rather than just let you fade out in Invisible Man style. And actually, that reminds me. Let me see if here we go. I think we got the guys on the balcony. We haven't heard from them in a while. Let's see what they got to show as we're ending the show.
Well, thank God that's over. Now we can disappear. Not literally. Hey, your clothes ain't supposed to disappear as well. Are you still here? Ah, I hate it when he does that. I'm gonna put a bell on him or something.
I love those guys. Come on. Yeah, anyhow. So just one more time. Let's. So if you want to reach Carla, carlabonnell.com. You can reach her at Carla Bonnell on Twitter, Facebook, Carla Bonnell, and YouTube, Celtic Blues. Go check her out. And of course, you can have links to this show if you want to rewatch it, to all of our platforms here on The Invisible Man at theinvisibleman.ca. I won't read all of our stuff. Just go there. You'll find what you need. Let me switch back here. Hey, we're good. So thank you very much, Carla, once again. It's been a pleasure, and I can't believe that it's over already. We barely started. So thank you very much.
Fun time when you're having flies.
Indeed it does. Yes, indeed it does. Okay, just want to hang around just for a sec after the show, Carla, as long as your battery allows, and we'll just say goodbye. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. A few names I'd never seen before, so thank you very much for the new viewers joining us, and thank you very much for the regulars as well, and hopefully we'll see you next week where we have Black Eyed Susie returns with us as well. So it'll be a lot of fun. Catch you all later. Thanks again, Carla, and we'll catch you all later.
Take care.
Oh, the invisible